Carson ruled late-night television for 3 straight decades. Every night, millions tuned in for his razor-sharp wit, smooth delivery, and effortless conversations with celebrities. He was the gold standard of talk show hosts, cool, polished, unshakable. But even a legend like Carson had moments when certain guests didn't just entertain him, they disarmed him. These weren't just interviews. They were moments where Johnny dropped the act, laughed like a kid, and let the world see his true joy. Rodney Dangerfield was one of those guests. Known for his iconic, I get no respect one-liners, Dangerfield didn't rely on charm or improv. He brought precision. Every joke was a weapon, and he fired them in rapid succession. During a 1983 visit to the show, he delivered one of his best. "My mother never breastfed me. She said she only liked me as a friend." Carson lost control. He laughed so hard he couldn't speak. The show was moments from a commercial break, but Johnny physically couldn't do his job. His eyes watered, his shoulders shook, and the audience exploded with applause. What made it unforgettable wasn't just the humor. It was seeing Carson completely undone by it. This wasn't a host politely chuckling for the camera. This was Johnny being humbled by brilliance. Off camera, Carson deeply respected Dangerfield and often asked him for advice on joke structure. In private, the king of late night became the student, and Rodney, the unlikely teacher, earned his admiration not by charisma, but by craftsmanship. Then there was Dean Martin, the smooth crooner who seemed to drift through life half-buzzed and entirely unbothered. Dean's appearances felt like chaos wrapped in charm. He'd slur a name, forget what he was promoting, and somehow make it all hilarious. Carson, usually a master of control, adored the unpredictability. In one 1975 visit, Martin stumbled through jokes and conversation with such ease, Johnny couldn't stop laughing. "Did you get Frank something special for his 60th birthday?" Johnny asked. Dean replied, straight-faced, "How do you wrap up glands?" It was nonsense, and it was gold. Carson admired Martin's lack of effort. Where other guests tried hard to be funny, Dean just was. His comedic timing was natural. His relaxed energy turned interviews into comedy sketches without trying. Carson once said, "Dean doesn't try to be funny, he just is. That's a gift you can't teach." These moments revealed something rare. Johnny Carson, the ever-composed entertainer, caught off guard by true greatness. Whether it was Dangerfield's perfectly engineered punchlines or Martin's off-the-cuff magic, these guests didn't just entertain America. They made Johnny Carson laugh like a fan in the front row. And maybe that's the real measure of brilliance on a talk show. Not just who got the laughs, but who made the king laugh hardest. Dean Martin had something that drew people in without effort, an unshakable cool that wasn't forced. Johnny Carson saw that instantly. His natural ease felt like magic on stage. Carson, a man who had spent years refining his own effortless style, instantly appreciated Martin's casual brilliance. When Martin appeared on The Tonight Show, it was like watching two jazz musicians riff, unrehearsed, unscripted, but absolutely in sync. Carson would create these setups, and Martin would hit back with lines so perfect they felt written, except everyone knew they weren't. One night, Martin interrupted the laughter and said, "Wait, is this live television? I thought we were just having a conversation." That moment, honest, hilarious, unfiltered, summed up everything that made him so lovable. Off camera, Carson would sometimes drop into Martin's dressing room before a show, not to prep material. Martin didn't work that way. He never had anything planned. But Carson just wanted to soak up some of that charm. "Dean taught me that confidence is the best comedy tool," Carson once said. "When you're completely comfortable with yourself, the audience becomes comfortable too." Then there was Buddy Hackett, wild, unpredictable, and impossible not to watch. What Carson loved most about Hackett wasn't just the jokes. It was the way he told them. Hackett didn't deliver punchlines. He built entire worlds with words. Ordinary moments turned into legendary sagas through sheer personality. Carson adored storytelling. And Buddy was a master. Every time he walked on stage, it was like opening a door to his own chaotic universe. Take the infamous duck joke. A man shoots a duck. The duck falls into a farmer's yard. The man wants his duck back. The farmer, towering and tough, says, "It's my duck now. It's on my land." Then comes the twist. "Let's settle this country style." The farmer explains, "We take turns kicking each other in the groin." Whoever's standing at the end keeps the duck. The city guy agrees. The farmer kicks him hard. 30 minutes later, bent over in pain, the city guy says, "Okay, my turn." And the farmer replies, "You can have the duck." The joke wasn't just funny, it was an adventure. And Hackett's delivery made it iconic. Carson would often warn his writers before a Hackett segment, "You never know where Buddy's going, but you're always glad you came along for the ride." Then there was Jonathan Winters, a legend in a league of his own. When Jonathan Winters stepped onto the Tonight Show stage, the atmosphere would shift. Carson didn't just introduce him, he braced himself. With Winters, you didn't get rehearsed bits or polished monologues. You got lightning in a bottle, a genius improviser. Winters could take a random object and turn it into 20 minutes of inspired lunacy. One night in 1981, Carson handed him a broken umbrella, a prop meant as a casual joke. Within seconds, Winters transformed into a delusional British colonel caught in an invisible thunderstorm, spinning stories of battlefield chaos with a stiff upper lip and wild-eyed sincerity. "Sergeant Pembroke was eaten by his own canteen," Winters declared, eyes wide, voice trembling with tragic dignity. "Terrible business, really." Carson was in hysterics, bent over, tears rolling down his face, unable to regain control. But it wasn't just the laughter that made Winters special. It was his courage. He didn't rely on tested material or predictable routines. He stepped into every moment with no plan, no parachute, and made magic happen in real time. "Jonathan doesn't tell jokes," Carson once told his writers. "He inhabits entire alternate realities and invites us in." That spontaneity created a rare chemistry. Carson, usually in control, became the audience, watching, reacting, caught off guard by every twist. More than once, he waved off the stage manager during commercial breaks, saying quietly, "Forget the rundown, this is pure magic." Winters treated each show like jazz, unpredictable, soulful, and unrepeatable. For Carson, it wasn't just admiration, it was inspiration. "Jonathan reminds me why I love this business," he told friends. "He's not performing for fame or applause. He performs because he can't help himself." And then came Robin Williams. Williams didn't walk onto The Tonight Show. He detonated onto it. From the moment he sat down, the energy changed. He moved at the speed of thought, leaping between characters, voices, and absurd tangents with the force of a runaway train. Where Carson was a master of smooth transitions, Williams was chaos personified. But it was beautiful chaos, creative, unfiltered, unstoppable. During one unforgettable appearance in 1982, he showed up as Mork from Ork. But the alien lasted only a few minutes before morphing into a sweaty Southern preacher, then a Russian ballet dancer, and then, somehow, both at once. "Comrade, we must leap for the motherland," he shouted, spinning into a pirouette that knocked Carson's coffee mug off the desk. Carson wasn't annoyed. He was delighted. Slapping the desk, gasping for air, he just let the moment happen. Robin Williams, he realized, didn't hold anything back. Where other guests worried about being liked or being safe, Williams flung himself into the deep end every single time. It was fearless, full-throttle comedy. "Some of these evangelists are so hard up now," Williams ranted mid-bit. "They're healing appliances. Bring forth the blender." The audience howled as he shouted, "Say frap for no reason." Carson leaned back in awe. "Robin gives you everything he's got," he told his staff afterward, "even if it means crashing and burning spectacularly." But here's the thing. He never crashed. He soared. Carson, who had seen it all, found himself stunned and recharged by Williams' intensity. It was a reminder that comedy, at its best, is a risk worth taking. And that's the magic of The Tonight Show under Johnny Carson. Not just a platform, but a playground where legends were made, risks were rewarded, and comedy evolved before our eyes. If this video made you smile, sparked a memory, or taught you something new about the greats of late-night television, consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. It helps more than you know and keeps the spotlight on the moments that shaped comedy history. Until next time, keep laughing, keep learning, and never forget. Sometimes the boldest joke is just walking off the stage.